an opportunity to look for new waders. I was doing a river otter job today and found out that my waders didn't make it through the winter.
Oh no.
They got a little wet, a little cold.
There's a few guarantees in life. Death, taxes, waders will leak. I'm gonna be late. It's one of my toxic traits.
Yeah.
As well as talking with my mouth full. That's also a toxic trait.
But we're live. What's up, Bobby?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, my man?
I'm living the dream.
Hell yes.
The dream. I'm trying to live y'all's dream.
I'm gonna mess with your volume, Bobby. Usually you're loud as hell, but you're kind of quiet.
I'm quiet.
Yeah.
Well, we started at his bedtime. We can't start a podcast at Bobby's bedtime.
It's the first time I've ever said Bobby's quiet.
There's something wrong there then.
How did the otter job go? Did you get him?
No, I'm going to set it up Friday. It's in a, like a cul-de-sac of houses. So today I went and scouted and put up signs and knocked on doors and let some people know that if you like your pets, you might want to keep them inside this weekend. So I set out trail cams, and not 25 minutes after I set out the trail cams, here's a picture of a nice cat with a collar on it.
What makes this particular otter a menace?
They first saw him on the ice, and there was 3 of them, and they had a mound of fish outside their hole, and they were just munching.
So they're stealing their fish resources?
Yes. They would rather eat the fish than the otter. So I walked out on the ice right as it was kind of turning into crap, and I dropped about 1.5 inches, that false layer before it hits the hard ice. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be back. So the otter had 2 weeks of free reign.
You have an otter job. Does that mean there's just one? Like there's one bad otter and the other 2 are cool? Or
no, they all got to go.
They all gotta go.
Otters, beaver, raccoon. I'm just thinning the herd.
Where are they going?
Do you want in on this podcast?
I just want to know where the otters are going.
Ella's sitting over here, and she's like, I don't want to be in this. And now
Ella
she's
in the corner.
You know what? Join on Facebook, and you can ask your questions in the comments.
Let's jump through hoops here, shall we?
TA was asking if we just came on and if he missed anything, and no, I'm late. Like
per the usual.
For anybody who doesn't know me, like I am late all the freaking time. And
time is a suggestion.
Lots of times it's for no reason. Like I met up with Brad. He's supposed to be hopping on here shortly. I met up with Brad fishing the other day, and like our house is 6 miles from the boat ramp, and I was 10 minutes late.
That's me to work.
It doesn't surprise me one
bit.
Yeah, I show up to work at 7:15 every morning, and it's a 10-minute drive. So if you want, I mean, the reason is I get easily sidetracked. If you haven't noticed just from hearing me talk, I do get a lot of squirrel moments, and then the more irons I have in the fire, the worse it gets. And because I'll be concentrated on something, and then I'll look at the time and I'll be like, oh shit, I should have left 10 minutes ago. But then I'll be concentrated on something, and then something else will totally catch me off guard, and then suddenly I can't refocus. Like, it's a vicious cycle of just chaos.
It's called ADHD.
Yeah. Me and Skip, we're perfect.
If you wouldn't have 837 things going every day, you'd be all right.
Yeah, but I can't not do that. Like if I don't have enough things going on, I need chaos. I need a certain amount of chaos in my life.
Organized chaos.
That's why we have Skip.
If things are too easy, then I got to add a new layer of difficulty.
I will vouch for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Like, oh,
this boat works way too good. Let's sell it and get a brand new one.
I'm glad I got the boat that I got now, because now it just confirmed I'm a jet boat guy.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was a jet boat guy. Let's try the prop, and now I know I'm a jet boat guy.
Did you get the new one in?
No. I think it's supposed to be in like 4, 5, 6, sometime in April, supposed to be, which means
Nice.
I'll probably get it in June. You know how those things work.
Yeah.
But I need to sell my boat, so if anybody was looking for a protege,
Pretty badass one.
That is a sweet boat.
it's set up. It's got all the bells and whistles on it.
And it's had some very big fish in it.
I mean, the fish don't come with the boat, Bobby.
Well, they could for the right price.
Right. I just need to get my commercial fisherman's license. Bobby, you should buy it. That's what we were just talking about. It looked good in North Carolina.
Hell yes. I'll be right back. I can go let the damn dog out.
Let him out.
So Christian told me to look into these new boats. I forget what they're called.
See, our
they're almost
proteges.
like it's like a smaller version of his, and they're like
His is a hookers.
It's not a hookers. It's a similar kind of like design as his. It almost looks like a mini tank, but it's like it's a V hull, V hull deep V and everything, and it's like under 40 grand. So
what? As I say, anything like Christian's is going to be $60,000, $70,000, $80,000.
Well, not the size of his.
No, it doesn't matter. Like his boat's $120,000.
Oh yeah.
Which I mean,
might as well buy two at that point. What the hell?
Right.
Dude, I'll buy 3.
I can't imagine. I mean, it's just crazy.
I love that. I do like his boat though. My truck would never pull it, but
how can you not like his boat?
Oh, it's awesome.
Like I've never felt like I was in a battleship catfishing before until I fished with him, and I'm fishing out of a battleship.
A battleship,
dude! Like where you're sitting at you're sitting in this little cabin thing that has as much room as most boats, and then you walk out of the cabin, and then there's an equally large amount of room to stand in front of the rods.
A lot of room for activities.
Dude, it's nuts. You could have 2 parties on the boat. Like you could walk from room to room basically with the cabin.
How big is it?
I think it's a 22, but the windshield's so far forward that there's probably 17 feet from the front deck to the back to the transom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the front deck isn't very big, so it's just this huge cockpit where you can. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You could set up a gym in there, probably. You could do pull-ups in there on the enclosure.
A little multitasking.
Yeah, that's a heavy boat, though.
I mean, but the nice thing about heavy boats is they ride nice if it's windy and wavy and stuff. Like, it's annoying to have to pull them down the road, but once they get in the water, they are sweet.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then you have light boats like the boats that Ryan has and the boat that I'm getting, and you feel every 4-inch wave, and it just you can feel your disc bulging in your back anytime there's a chop.
But when you're going through 4 inches of water, it's worth it.
Oh yeah, those boats are, they have one job and they do it awesome, and then everything else they suck at. So and I can relate on those, except for the having a job that you do awesome. Maybe I don't.
They're for very small rivers and crappie fishing, very still ponds.
Right. Small water of all kinds.
You excited to get your new boat, Spence?
Dude, I can't wait, man. It's the only boat that's kept me up for multiple nights in a row. What are you laughing about?
Sounds pretty serious, bud.
Apparently that was funny. Like I try to be funny and nobody laughs, and then I say something like that. And
We do that on purpose. We do that on purpose.
Yeah, it just stares at me. Like
Yeah. Oh man.
So what's keeping you? Just like Christmas morning effect, or you got worries, or?
no, it's a Christmas morning effect. Like so when I bought my first Sea Arc, I wanted a windshield and a built-in gas tank, and Sea Arc was like, no, you get a gas tank or you get a windshield. You don't get both. I'm like, all right. So
Yeah, they have a lot of rules.
give me the gas tank and just I'll do a big tiller. And like I love that boat. That boat was sweet. Did a lot of things. Had a ton of room. It was awesome. But now you can do the windshield and the gas tank. What I wanted from the very beginning.
They got it
in a
figured out.
jet. Yeah, which has a ton of cockpit space for an 18-foot boat, and I'm jacked.
So it's a full windshield pushed all the way up, or?
Yep,
Hell yeah!
windshield all the way up. Has more floor space than my 20-foot boat.
Really?
But it's an 18-footer, so they'll have a foot more floor space, and
Room for your car.
yeah, taller windshield. You know.
So it doesn't have the rod
hear what
locker
Ellis
and
said?
stuff on the side.
Bobby, did you hear what Ellis said? Is that what you're laughing about? Just for the record, she said cot.
Okay.
Room for my cot.
We're
I
making
was like, oh my God, is nobody gonna laugh at that?
I didn't even hear
Spencer just sat there like
I was just pretending like she didn't say anything like I normally do.
oh my God. Straight to
See,
the doghouse.
This is like Cameron in the corner from that one
Oh yeah, from
podcast,
Ozarks?
except I actually have to pay attention to what Ellis says. I didn't have to pay attention to what Cameron said.
Oh my God.
oh,
You're going
trail
straight
cam
to the
just went
doghouse,
off.
Spencer.
What do we got?
I haven't got there yet. A rabbit,
Oh,
feisty little rabbit. I don't know if you can see it or not.
That's good bait.
who was saying that? Somebody said that was a good bait.
Yeah, it was last week.
You name an animal and somebody will say it's good bait. You could say alligator and somebody's be like, man, that's great bait.
I've never heard anybody using zebra.
I
You just
mean,
haven't tried hard
I wouldn't be
enough.
opposed to it.
I mean, well, Sam's going to Africa next spring. We'll see if he can bring back some zebra liver or something like that.
Now we're talking, thinking outside the box.
Oh,
I'm
shoot.
thinking more of a zebra raincoat.
Brad's
That'd be pretty
backstage.
badass.
He had to text me so I could even pay attention. My bad. There's the man.
There
What's
he
up, guys?
is.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. Sitting here
How
having
many
a good cold Red Bull.
I'm going to
There
get
we
right
go.
to it. Brad gave me an ass whooping like I ain't had in a long time yesterday.
Enough that he texted me about it.
It was very, very, very fun. Hey, I've been dealing with the flu, man, for like this is the 10th day, and I'm still struggling. It's kind of in my chest, you know. But I want to go out and fish.
I could really tell. You looked like you were really hurting.
Yeah, well, my arms are so sore, man, from setting the hook yesterday, you know.
Yeah, I bet.
That's what I'm talking about.
You might have pulled a shoulder.
Well, Spencer had me out there in 3 mile an hour current, and I'm only at 40% with my strength fighting these fish. So I mean, but it was awesome, man. I don't know why. It was just my turn to show out.
Put on.
That's right.
You're
Any
just
big one?
better than me. I'll
No,
say it.
man.
You're
You know,
better
That's
than
not
that's-
hard, Spencer.
It just hurt. Bobby,
That's
don't
only-
make me whoop your ass. Even though my back is sore from netting all of Brad's fish. I'll still put it on you, Bobby.
That was just a layup. That was a layup for me.
So you got a new net, Spencer, after you destroyed your last one.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
They replaced it.
Oh, hell yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
What even happened? Like, I saw the video, but like...
It sits outside in my boat, and which it shouldn't have dry rotted as quick as it did because I've only had it for like 2 months, but I think that's what happened. I think it dry rotted from sitting in the sun, and then you put a big fish in it, and it tore when I went to lift him in the boat. So I'm gonna end up switching. Probably, I've been looking hard at the RS nets. Those look sharp.
They're heavy.
I mean, but heavy usually means durable. So.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's what I look for in women.
Real
Very
sturdy.
durable.
Real sturdy.
Oh, my God.
That's my girlfriend to walk in weighing about 105 pounds. But
Not to say.
Oh, my God.
Very durable.
That's why you can say that, because it's not true. So it's funny.
What are you eating, Spencer?
Cheese.
Whatever he can get his hands on.
That's a fact.
I literally walked through the door. I smell like bug spray and shad guts. I grabbed my computer, flipped it open, and then started sending you links to hop on here. I have so much.
Was it a productive day?
No.
Oh,
Because Brad wasn't there.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Hey, in my defense this time, not only was I not catching anything, nobody else was catching anything either. So it wasn't just me.
Oh, that's even better.
So I was trying to catch stripers, but I went by the boat ramp and there was these kids down there throwing stink bait, just putting it on the channel cats.
Heck yeah.
And I should have just hung out with them. They caught a 14-pounder on stink bait over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, I had fresh shad, couldn't catch nothing.
Right. That's just the you effect.
I think so. I caught that big flathead the other day, and it's just been nothing but bad luck since.
Hey,
Worth
look,
it.
that was a magnum.
Absolutely worth it. Trail
Yeah,
camera.
When you sent me that text saying you were 3 pounds away, I wasn't expecting it to be a flathead.
It's the end of the time of year where I don't even care that much about blue cats. I just want to chase flatheads. Skip, you want some cheese?
The rabbits are going crazy. Got another picture of a rabbit.
It's that rabbit time of day.
Yeah.
Night.
Okay.
Okay, father time.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk
Father
about like actual fishing stuff.
I am pumped about actual fishing stuff. My boat is coming out of the barn this weekend.
What are you doing?
Well, I haven't. I've got to get it out. I just went got new lithium batteries. Well, 1-year-old lithium batteries from Kit. He was selling. He got a battery deal, so I bought his last year's batteries, and I got my onboard charger that's got to get hooked up, get everything fine tuned, get ready to roll. Then hopefully Sunday I'm out somewhere, just give it a little test run.
So you're not actually fishing. You're just getting ready to go fishing.
Yeah, Sunday I plan on getting out somewhere.
Well, what are you going to do? You catfishing, walleye fishing, smallmouth fishing, crappie fishing?
I'll probably go just like the Big Creek. It's close enough where I can open up and get on walleye, channel cat, crappie.
TA beat me to it, bullhead.
Absolutely.
The prime bait. What time of year do y'all start using live bait over cut bait?
June-ish.
60 to 70 degree water, somewhere in there. You still work in cut bait though. It's never a bad idea to throw cut bait.
That's true.
I'm trying to think of a time of the year where it's not worth throwing cut bait. I can't really think of one.
Well, August and September when we're throwing big baits.
But they're either going to eat a bait like a 1.5 feet long or a chunk of cut bait the size of your pinky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest flathead I've caught in the last 5 years, other than the one that I caught the other day, he ate a chunk of creek chub the size of my pinky in August.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Mike Mitchell said, "What's your PB flathead?"
Mine? 57 now.
He looked 87. That thing had a gut on him.
That was a unit.
Mike Mitchell actually catches flatheads that are like 87 pounds. I just dream of them.
Oh man. Hey, look, I know the feeling.
Bobby, what's your PB flathead?
Let's not talk about that.
You're a small man in the room, I think.
I am 100%.
Well, you don't know what Brad's PB is or Ryan's.
It's bigger than mine.
I've caught a 50. That's as big as I've landed. I've hung them bigger than that, but I've never landed one over 50.
You've got mine shattered.
Brad, you can't weigh them in the water. You don't know if they're bigger.
That's true. Hey, we tried that yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, I hooked the biggest fish of the day.
Yeah.
How'd that?
And I lost the second biggest one of the day, I think.
Maybe. He wasn't that big. He was probably only 15.
At least we seen him. Yours could have been a carp.
No, I saw him. He porpoised like clear out there. With the scale hooked up to him. I think the scale said 50 pounds when he jumped.
Yeah.
Ryan, what's your PB?
48. I cannot beat 50 to save my ass. I think the last
You can't beat 40.
I think the last 3 years I've caught probably 6 from 45 to 48. And I cannot beat 50.
Gosh, everybody in here feels so bad for you too.
Well, that 46 I caught last fall, I caught it in October, and that thing had a 60-pound head on it. I mean, that head was just ginormous. And I put it on the scale. I'm like, yes, I finally beat 50, 46 pounds. Mother.
That's like the opposite of the one that I just caught. It had like a 40-pounder's head and a 70-pounder's stomach.
You didn't know where the head stopped and the tail started because it was just all one line.
Right. Tell you what, if you're going to be stuck in like 48-pound purgatory, that's not a bad place to be. Like, I can't catch a flathead over 4 feet long. Dang.
Dadgum, Mike Mitchell's PB flathead is 73.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like,
What?
yeah, just freak shows.
What?
Like those Alabama boys, Mike, Brad, like you guys catch real fish. We just play around.
We're definitely blessed to have the water to catch them, man. You know, it's just, I mean, for me, I still struggle with flatheads. I don't never really target them, but I did this fall and done pretty good. But as far as being able to go out and target big flathead, I hadn't figured that part out yet, but I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Heck yeah. It's all it does. Take time.
Yeah, I told Spencer, you know, when I'm all in when I get my mind set on doing something like that, kind of like bumping. I've never bumped before. With Spencer yesterday was my second time. Yeah, and I love it, man. I love it. It's something very addictive. I mean, you know, I thought
you had the rhythm.
Yeah. I thought I was past all the addictions in my life, but I picked up another one. You know,
it's like playing the drum set. Yeah, the right cadence.
I loved it. You know, went all in and just mentally figured it out, man. I think that's a lot of the deal, even with trophy catfish, is trying to figure. You got to be mentally involved more than just physically. You know, you got to try to think outside the box and make it all come together. You know,
you need to make a trip to one of the big rivers. Like if you really enjoyed the walking baits, like it would be worth going to the Mississippi or the Missouri or the Ohio. And it's not that you can't walk baits right where you're at, because you absolutely can, but it's like an immersion experience, because when it's warm out, literally that's not the only game in town by any means, but Like you can catch a pile of fish walking baits, and it's a different experience. It'd be worth doing for sure.
Yeah.
And you can walk baits anywhere with current, but it just seems like them big rivers have better stretches, more fish, just more conducive for it.
So I need to put my power handle back on.
Oh yeah,
man, that was the biggest mistake I made. That shows what kind of rookie I am. I put together a bumping rig, and I had a big low profile.
If that's the biggest mistake you make in your life, you live a pretty blessed life, bud.
Well,
I cannot say the same as to the biggest mistake.
You don't even fish. Get out of here.
It was all good till I put a fit, got into a decent fish, man. But I took, the reel I had, it had a power handle on it, the big handle, and I didn't like it because it got in my way. And so I took it off and put a regular bait caster handle on it, and that was the worst mistake, man. Because it's like I had this huge pin fathom with a Zipco 33 handle on it, trying to reel it fish up. And
too much power. Just
it did not work out. I mean, it took, on the bigger fish and even the smaller fish in that current, it taking 10 minutes, to get them up to the boat and get them in the net. But
it's like arm wrestling with just using your pinky.
Yeah.
The same.
I told Spencer I felt like with that big handle on there, because I got kind of short arms. With that big handle, it was like I was cranking the boat on the trailer, reeling the fish in. So it really didn't look right, So I thought, well, I'll just take the handle off and put something smaller on there. But the gear ratio and the little bitty tiny handle does not line up.
Yeah. I used to use Pen 309s. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can't turn that handle fast enough.
Yeah.
Like you hook a fish and it's just it's like Sonic the Hedgehog blur,
Yeah, if they run at you, you're screwed.
Shane says I'm his hero.
Tragic small handles.
Shane needs new heroes.
You need higher standards.
Shane needs
you know who should be your hero, Shane, is Brad.
Yeah. I agree.
He doesn't even need a power handle, He just took it off. Like this is too much power. It's not even fair. So
I gotta even the odds.
Yeah.
Gotta give him a chance.
That's right. Don't want to ski him in.
Jimmy says Brad needs to make T-shirts that say, "Hey, man."
Hey, man.
I'm on board.
Man.
I'd wear one. I'd rock one.
Absolutely.
I would too. That's what
so I made fun of you, Bobby, for not fishing. Are you ever going to fish again?
Yes.
Yeah, where
I got to give the fish a break. We've been putting a hurting on them.
No, you don't.
We'll get out of the Bass Pro Shop tank and get outside.
Hey, look, I got to catch them somewhere.
I'm pretty sure you were talking about all the fish you missed last time you went, and then you finally landed a giant, which your buddy did.
I didn't land it.
So it sounds to me like you need more practice if you're missing a bunch of fish.
No, they
were all small.
Really, really big bait.
Just waiting for that big one to hit.
That's right. Feeding them small ones up.
It is funny because all of the fish we did miss, they were very good fish.
How do you miss a blue cat?
J hooks?
No. No. Don't disrespect me like that.
I'm just coming up with possibilities. The fish does all the work for you. How the fuck you miss one?
Yeah.
Because we were using really big baits with single hooks. And then when we downsized, we caught the 83 and didn't miss it.
I'm not a mathematician, but there might be something in that.
Yeah. I still don't believe in double hook rigs, but
Well, I didn't either until Spencer outfished me like every single time with a double hook. It is always on the top hook. You're like, God damn it.
I want to start using like a stinger.
No, so Ryan's talking about the double hook, like the high-low rig.
Right. Yeah.
You're talking about two hooks and one bait, but to what Ryan was saying, yes, the high-low rig will outfish them. As much as I wish I could say that was all talent, like when Brad whipped my ass yesterday, it's not. It was just the rig.
It was a better.
Dadgum, I go to the comments and it's a roast of me.
Well,
yeah, you don't want to look at the comments, Bobby.
Yeah.
You just shut them off.
Yeah. Don't look at the comments.
Dadgum.
Is Bobby always full of shit? Yes.
Yep. Every time I've talked to him, he's 100%. He can't catch a goddamn fish, but he definitely spread some shit.
Oh God, yeah. I got to keep things interesting when I'm not catching fish.
I just had this random thought because those kids were catching all those fish on stink bait. Have you ever heard of anybody going to the James or a place like that and just dropping stink bait down and seeing what happens?
You know, we've talked about it on days where we're just not catching anything and just be like, you know how fun it would be to get, you get all those little tiny taps and just go down there with like stink bait and just wreck them. But I don't know personally if anybody that's actually done it.
I think you should do it. Like go to, like, whether it's the James or I don't know, some place that has giant blue cats and just run some stink bait out just to see what happens.
Catch the world record.
I mean, who knows? Like those kids tonight caught a 14-pounder on a dough ball, basically.
Oh, was it like the cube stink bait? What?
Yeah, the ones you bought. They said they bought it at a gas station half a mile down the road.
I was expecting some grandpa's secret recipe.
No. And they were indulging in some. What?
Derek said Bobby did miss all the fish the other week.
You just got sold out by your buddy. I would have done the same, Derek. So
messed up. Messed up.
Jimmy's like, if only your first name was Ricky. You might be Ricky from now on.
Oh, come on, man.
No, Ricky gets first.
Oh, that's bad.
That's hilarious.
I love my friends, I swear.
So, Bobby, when are you going fishing next? We never got to that.
I'm gonna go try and catch hickory shad up at Weldon this weekend because it's supposed to be gusting like 47.
Dude, I bet that's a freaking blast.
Oh, I enjoy when they're there. You can catch your limit in 10 minutes.
What's your limit?
10.
So you can cast, reel in a fish, unhook it, throw it in a cooler, and cast and do that 10 times in 10 minutes.
When they're thick, you'll catch 2, 3 at a time.
Oh, so you're throwing multi-hook rigs.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, when they're thick, it's every.
I was about to put a really high stakes bet on the table.
I wish I wouldn't have mentioned the double hook rig.
You shouldn't have. You would have pulled out the 3 jigs on a rig, and I would have been like, my mouth would have dropped. Like,
Dude,
really screwed up there, man.
Catch 3 at a time. I'd have been like, Spencer, drop off that protege.
Brad, I got your text.
Oh, you got it?
Oh,
yep, I got it. Brad texted me like 20 minutes ago that he was in the back room. Finally got it.
we was having trouble getting on, and we finally got on there, and I didn't know what to do at that point, but it said I was backstage, so I was just letting you know I was back there.
Hey guys,
hello. Brad just texted me. Let me let him in.
I was looking for a door to knock on, but I couldn't find one in here anywhere. I don't know how to get out of here.
Knock on it, shit. You just kick it down.
Jimmy wants to know if you've ever fished or seen Richard Gene.
Come on, me?
Catfishing machine.
Yeah.
I've never met him. I've watched him on YouTube, man. That dude's he's a guru in about all species.
Mm-hmm.
He can catch them from big cats down to humongous shell cracker. I mean, I don't know. He's just gifted, man, all around.
Yeah,
he's a catcher. Some people are fishermen, like me, fish a lot. He's a catcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, what is that? What does that make Ryan?
Drunk most times.
I would say fishing with Ryan's just a good time.
I'm just an average enthusiast.
Oh, TA wants to know if you guide, Brad.
No, I don't. I was planning on doing it this summer, but I'm kind of pushed for time. But I'm probably going to get my captain's license either this fall or next spring.
When you get your captain's license, will you make people address you as Captain Brad?
No.
No.
They just call me whatever. Call me whatever at the end of the day. At the end of the day, if I put them on big fish, then y'all call me captain. If not, you just call me whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
You call the
That's a damn good answer.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could change my name. Oh, here we go.
Are you going to change it to Captain Spencer?
Captain Bauer. Oh.
Captain Bauer.
Oh, yeah. We'll do Captain Bauer.
Oh, my God.
From here on, I will not respond to anything you say unless you address me, Captain Bauer.
So, Captain Dipshit, what do you got going on?
Now we're talking.
I will also respond to Captain Dipshit.
Dylan said Captain Bobby Wynn. Now
you got to have a vessel first, buddy. Turns out there's a Sea Arc Protege for sale right now. Smoking deal.
Yeah. The James would whoop me in that.
No, it wouldn't. That would handle the James just fine.
Would it?
Oh, absolutely. They're super versatile. That's why I went with that to begin with, is like it's got a 15-degree hole, so it handles chop really nice. It's loud because it's an aluminum boat and it's not that heavy, but it don't draft that much water, and it's got the jack plate that you can run it up 10 inches. So you jack the motor up 10 inches and trim it up. Dude, you can putt through nothing in that. Like, I was going through 0.8 the other day. No problem. Wasn't even churning up mud.
Dang.
Yeah, they're really good boats, man. Like, if you're on big water, they're really good boats. The only problem with them for me is they don't go through 4 inches of water very good.
And that's a necessity.
That is a requirement.
Yeah.
So for 4 months out of the year, that boat is everything I need. And then the other 8, when I'm in central Iowa, it's like, sure do miss a jet.
What reservoir do I go to today?
Right.
Oh, Bobby's gone.
Bobby blacked out.
My phone is freezing. No.
It's time for Bobby.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I don't. No, I'm here.
When's the last time you blacked out, Bobby?
There we go. My phone froze.
I'm
going to use my laptop next time.
It's fine.
No, it was real warm today. 70s.
Yeah, it was 70s in Iowa today. It was pretty freaking sweet.
It was 70s in Florida today.
It's always.
It was 70 here in Alabama today.
It's 70 on North America.
It's like it's 70 everywhere.
And then Friday, it's supposed to get down to the 30s, and we may have a chance of another derecho.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah.
I heard it was supposed to be big wind and nasty storm, but I didn't know derecho was a possibility.
Yeah. That's what they're kicking around. But it sounds like it's going to be southeast Iowa mainly. But We're still supposed to get 50 to 60 mile an hour winds.
Gotcha.
Bobby said, "Fuck it, I'm out."
Derechos are scary, man.
Yeah, we're expecting tornadoes here Saturday, so
Sweet.
It's just crazy, man. It's that time of the year, but
It is. Brad, you chasing flatheads this week?
no. I'm actually tomorrow's probably the only day I'll get to fish this week because of the weather, but I'm gonna go do a bait run tomorrow and try to stock up on me a few skipjack for the next couple of weeks, man, because it's fixing to fire up big time. I feel like after this next rain and the warm temperatures, it's gonna put the fish where they need to be to have some fun. So I want to be stocked up on bait. I mean, normally this time of year you can catch bait as the day, as you need it, but they're still a little scattered for me. So I'm gonna go make a bait run and get me enough to do a couple of trips on, and hopefully everything will straighten out by then. But I'm excited about getting on some flathead, but right now I'm just trying to get some bait and get over the flu.
If you happen to run across some extra skipjack, I know a guy.
Scratching.
Yeah.
How do you keep skipjack for 2 weeks, Brad?
Well, if I'm just keeping them, for a short period of time, which that's what I'm doing right now. I've got some of the ice bags like you buy your ice at the store.
Yeah.
They don't have any holes in them, so I'll just put them in there and roll them up, tie them up real good. And those bags are actually thicker than vacuum sealed, so they'll keep them, several weeks. If I'm going to keep them for a month or longer, I'll take and vacuum seal them. So.
But then you actually freeze them, and when they thaw, they're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've kept bait. I mean, if you prep it from the water, as soon as you catch them all the way to the freezer, man, frozen bait will last 6 months. But who wants to use it that old? But I have had to. But it's still good if you do it right. But you can
What's
do
your
it.
secret?
Just keep it cold, man. From the time you catch it all the way home. Don't let it cool off. And I flash freeze it. I put it, in ice water with some salt, so it automatically flash freezes it. And when you get it home, it's already about as cold as it's going to get without freezing. So as soon as you put it in a freezer, it's within an hour it's done started that solid froze effect.
Yeah.
Mainly that's the only thing I've seen is keeping it cold from the time you catch it until you get it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And I do try to dry it a little bit, get it when I get it out of that water. I'll throw them all in a bucket. I got a 5-gallon bucket with a bunch of holes in it. Let the water drip out and get them as dry as possible. I don't sit there with a napkin like some people and try to dry them off, but getting the water off of them seems to help with the oils, keeping the oils on them.
There's 2 good questions in the comments. I'll answer the first one because I'm the only guy who turkey hunts. 25-pound gobbler, 25-pound flathead, 25-pound gobbler all day long. But the other one, Joel was asked if you're fighting a fish and say it's fighting like a blue or a flathead, what does that mean for those? Or he's wanting to know because he's only caught channel cats. So how do blues fight different than channels? How do flatheads fight different channels? You guys.
A lot of times on the bite. Not always, but a lot of times when the fish hits the rod what fish it is. Because most of the time the blues just a-hole it and off they go, and a flathead will hit it and just kind of slowly take it down. And
I would say that's the blue cat's number one, most admirable quality.
Yeah, they're mean.
They get big. Yeah, they get big, and then they don't really nibble. They just roast it, making them pretty much impossible to miss unless you're Bobby. I'd ask Bobby what the difference in a fight between a blue and a flathead's like, but he doesn't catch flatheads. So, Brad, I guess that leaves you.
Okay.
Probably pretty much same answer as y'all had. It's really in the bite. You can tell by the bite. As far as the fight, a flathead to me feels like you're pulling in a bucket. with a train pulling on the other end of it. You know, I was telling you the other day, you know, flathead, they open that mouth, it's like you're fighting a bucket, you know. Where a blue, you know, they've got that head shake. The fight's very distinctive, but I have got them confused, man. Like got it wrong 100%, you know, on a blue and a flathead. Even the bite from the actual bump up to getting them to the surface of the water, man. You can get it wrong. I do pretty often, you know.
I witnessed that like a day ago.
Yeah. Man. That bite from the tap and the slow takedown all the way to the surface, man. That fish was it was a monster flathead, and I mean, I was thinking it was, you know, bigger than Spencer's 57. You know, I was tickled to death. But when it came up, it was a blue. You know, of course, it wasn't nowhere near 57 pounds, but it was a nice one. But that fish fought from the bottom to the top, just like a flathead, a big flathead would.
I would say the biggest difference between a flathead and either blues or channels is blues and channels will both get kind of roly-poly, like flipping and flopping. But the flatheads, they stay solid, like it's just a solid bend in the rod, and then they'll throw you these big head shakes, and the rod will just buckle, just woof, woof, and that fish is down there shaking that head back and forth. And the bigger they are, obviously, the bigger the head shakes. And I don't know. It gets me.
I think they're part snake. I just imagine them down there, like their tail whipping in front of their face, like they're break dancing down there.
They're like a humongous tadpole.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they're built that way, you know.
I've never imagined a catfish break dancing until now.
Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What Ryan brings to the table.
Common sense? No.
No.
If you guys could only fish for one species of catfish for the rest of your life, what is it?
Not even a question.
I'm gonna grab a beer and answer it. Go ahead.
Mine's flathead all day. I don't care if that's the only fish I ever caught. I don't care if I didn't need to catch bait to fish for flathead. I wouldn't even fish for bait.
Yeah, I'm flathead all day long. If that's the only thing I could fish for. Because me and Spencer was talking about that the other day. You know, you can fish all week and catch one 30-pounder, and that's your week. Where a blue, you know, if you catch 2 30-pounders a day in my area for a week, then it's just 2 30-pounders in a day. Yeah. If you know, flatheads they're just a different level, man. A different level of accomplishment when you catch a 30+ flathead. But you know, I like to catch them all. You know, I don't care how big a flathead is. If it's a 5-pounder, you know, 30-pounder or whatever, I just enjoy them, man. They're just a whole different different kind of fish. You know,
1,000,000%. How about you, Ricky, Bobby?
I gotta go blue. I mean, I struggle with flatheads as it is, so.
Yeah. You seem like the kind of guy who'd take the easy route in life.
Yeah. I mean, I'm after a triple-digit blue. I've had that goal in my mind for a while, and I've got the bodies of water around me that, you know, could do it. So. You
do. I get it, man. Like, I appreciate the blue cat, like, and the fact that they just get enormous, you know, like
yeah,
a 50-pound flathead and an 80-pound blue in my brain kind of equate to about the same thing as far as like, you know, size for the species.
Right.
A flathead of any size means more to me than most blue cats, but at the end of the day, man, it'd be so cool to catch a 100-pound blue cat. It would be so cool.
Yeah. Check that off the list.
So I don't know. And then flatheads, you know, when it gets cold, they don't bite that great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Seems like certain places you can still get them. Like
down it just depends on the size of your treble hook, bud.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I stack them up in the wintertime.
When you're walleye fishing, you got that 2-aught treble hook stinger on the back of your jig. Yeah.
Right.
No, like there's certain areas that seems like there's just so many of them that you can still get them when it's cold. I was talking to Captain Jackson Mitchell the other day, and he said the coldest he ever caught a flathead was 42-degree water temp.
That's cold.
That'd be on a circle hook and a chunk of cut bait, like
In
he ain't
deep water.
snagging that fish.
Yeah.
You think it's a little one messing with it for 45 minutes. It's
Dude.
just that flathead just.
Well, that's one thing he did the other day that was pretty crafty, and I knew that he kind of did it, him and his old man do, where they'll leave their rods in free spool clicker and just let fish run, but that really seemed to play out, especially for the flatheads. I'm sure there's times with the blue cats where it really leads to more fish hooked, but he caught the only flathead of the day, and he had to let it run 10, 20 feet, and there was a couple of times where I think I had a flathead bite, and I had my reels and rods engaged, and they ended up dropping it.
They felt that little tension, and
Yep.
Yeah.
That fish didn't drop his. He let it run and then ended up hooking it good, and it was like a 25-pounder.
on a circle hook.
Yep.
Huh.
One thing I've noticed too is if you're running mono and circle hooks, the circle hooks seem to hook up better. But it might be because,
better. I understand that.
well, it also might be because you just don't see the small bites because mono's so like bulky and stretchy and
Imperfect. It's
imperfect. Mike is a braid guy now. I have him converted.
I know. I'm disappointed in him.
Brad's a braid guy. Bobby, you're a braid guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not.
Wait, you're what?
I'm a mono guy.
You sounded so ashamed.
I'm the only one here that's a mono guy.
The only thing I use braid for is bumping.
It's you and Ryan are the mono guys.
Yeah. I use braid for when I try to bump. That I'm not even sure you call it bumping. More like snagging, but
Snagging.
I just snag everything around us. But
Oh man.
Aaron says he knows a guy that caught 5 flatheads this weekend in 39-degree water. I mean, if he caught them on a jig, I don't believe it. But if he caught them, I mean, I believe it that he caught them, but they're probably just snagged. But if he's catching them on bait, like a stationary bait, I mean, it's hard to argue with that.
yeah, I mean,
All I know is, cut bait. Seems like the more I think I know about a fish, the less I know about the fish.
Yeah,
That's right.
there's enough caveats that just prove you wrong. That best advice is get out there.
Yeah,
That's
go
right.
fishing. Go fishing.
That's right. Hey,
That's the
y'all,
only thing I'm good at.
I gotta jump off. I gotta be up for work in like 5 hours. So I'm gonna jump off here.
Get out of here.
Well,
You're not jumping off.
number.
You're booted off. I'm kicking you out.
Okay. No, I
You're in the
appreciate y'all
timeout.
letting me. I appreciate y'all letting me jump on, and everybody obviously tuning in and hearing from y'all. But I get up early for work, so fortunately for me, it's gonna cut my night short. But
See you,
appreciate
Ricky.
y'all.
All right, we'll see you, Bobby.
See you, bud.
See ya. Now that we have the riffraff out of here.
Now we can start talking secrets.
That's a good idea. Brad, do you have any sneaky secrets that you'll share with people? Just one sneak. Call it a sneak.
Like fishing secret?
Yeah, just a little thing. Like it could be a type of area or a rig or a hook, or like in this situation you do something just a little bit different that's kind of sneaky and good. Or you think about that. Ryan, you got any sneaks?
Well, one don't do is eat the purple Dorito bag on the boat, because that never works out.
Well, I was talking to somebody about that the other day. Is if you take the sweet chili Doritos fishing
You ain't catching shit.
No. Not that. But
I don't know. I mean,
I got a sneak. Glow in the dark beads for hybrid stripers. So put a glow in the dark bead above your bait or your lure, and you will catch, it's not going to be night and day, but you'll catch more fish with a glow in the dark bead on your line than if you don't.
Really?
Yep. And you can get them on Amazon or eBay. Just type in glow in the dark beads. I like the soft rubber ones, but it doesn't really matter as long as they glow in the dark. And they also do well for channel cats too.
Yeah. I mean, I use them almost not exclusively, but I just throw them on because why not?
Yeah.
You know, when I throw beads on, 90% of mine are glow just because it's just another something that could work.
The opposite side of that, ice fishing for channel cats. If I had glow in the dark on my line, I watch channel cats swim the other direction.
Like the actual lure?
Yeah, whether it was a lure or a bead, they did not like it ice fishing. But when it gets warmer, they seem drawn to it.
That's summer food. We don't mess with that in winter time. Well, maybe it's because the lightning bugs are out in the summer and they think it's a lightning bug.
I mean, that's so obvious it has to be true. Brad, you got any sneaks? Any little things?
I was sitting here thinking probably the coolest thing I ever seen was when I used to do a lot of pan fishing for bluegill shellcracker. You could take that hook and run it under the rib cage and run it out the back, you know, on the butt, or you could run it through the rib cage and run it out on the head end. Well, them fish would either eat the butt or eat the head on any given day. So you had to figure that out. But if they was eating the head and you was hooking them the wrong way through the tail, they would not touch it. I mean, they would eat it, but of course they wouldn't get hooked. Right. You know what I'm saying? They was eating the hook from the wrong end. So that was just one little thing that really, and that was years ago, man, when I figured that out. But it's something I hadn't used in a long time.
Man, there's so many jokes about eating butts that could come out here.
Yeah. You know, I've caught a lot of fish here lately. I don't
lately,
and y'all may know more about this, but I hadn't. One thing I've seen this year that I hadn't seen in the previous years is, I guess it's hemorrhoids with the catfish. I've caught a lot of them, man, where they're like hemorrhoids. I mean, I've seen it during the spawn, but like this has been through the winter, and those they look like little brown leeches. I've caught a lot of fish this winter with the leeches on their heads, from every depth, from 5 foot deep to 30 foot of water. And they're mainly on the 30-pound or smaller. I hadn't seen any on the bigger fish.
You think they're just eating more like clams and stuff?
Could be. That's what I was thinking, because you know the big fish are more, kind of got their things they do where the smaller fish, 30-pound and under, they'll roam more. And that could be what it is. They're getting up in the more shallower water in the areas where those parasites are. I don't know if they're leeches or some kind of parasite, but like I said, as far as the hemorrhoids, you brought that up, or kind of, I've seen that a lot more this time. I don't know if it's the stress of the fish being fought, them fighting against you, or is it just something with the barometric pressure?
I bet it's what they're eating, man. They're just pooping stuff out. It's giving them hemorrhoids.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah. All right, so we got glow-in-the-dark beads, hooking fish in the butt, or
one thing I thought of is how shallow big flathead eat. Like, I had no idea until, some of your bobber sets that were in 2-3 foot of water that got hammered at 3 a.m. I never would have done that until I saw it. I mean, it's amazing how many big flathead just mow stuff in 2 foot of water.
Yeah.
I didn't know that growing up.
Well, I told you about, I think I called you to tell you when I was kayaking this fall on my way back, I floated down to a spot to walleye fish in my kayak, and then I paddled back up in the dark, and I had like a 2-mile paddle. And I'm the weirdo who enjoys kayaking in the dark. I don't know why. I just like the sounds are louder, and like I just enjoy the paddle stroke sounds, and it's very therapeutic, blah, 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 blah. I just like it. So I'm paddling back up, and then I flip my headlamp on, and I'm looking on the sandbar, and I see a 15 to 25 pound flathead somewhere in that range. And he was in water so shallow that his back was sticking out. Like his back was sticking out of the water, and he was chasing like these little suckers around. You could see the suckers in the flats.
And he had the choice to do that. I mean, the water wasn't that low. Yeah.
You know what was cool, though? When I turned the headlamp on, I saw him for like 2 seconds, and then he just freaking gone. He did not like that light, not even a little bit.
Huh.
Yeah. They're neat fish. Frustrating fish.
Yeah.
So what's the plan Sunday? You never really – oh, you said you're going to Big Creek chasing
I think so. We'll see how the boat rebuild goes Saturday.
Everything you're talking about is minor, though.
I know. But I got some trapping jobs to do first thing in the morning, and then I'm sure I got some family obligations at some time. So we'll get everything ironed out Saturday, and then hopefully Sunday I can get away for, at least 2-3 hours. Just give the boat some jogging time and get a little fishing in.
Perfect. So it's nice and ready to roll for when I get back to Iowa.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump in. Let's roll.
I'm looking forward to it. Honestly,
OTA keeps calling bullhead on us.
All right, bullhead. Drink that Red Bull, Brad.
Somebody switched water. I don't know how you drink Red Bull that late. I know we've talked about it last time you were on, but I'd be
that's why I like these. I like these podcasts because see, I've limited myself to 1 Red Bull a day, and it's usually for breakfast. And but see, when we had the podcast, I told my wife, I said, "Well, they drink beer. I got to have something that kind of look like a beer." So I picked the Red Bull. So I get to treat myself with a second one on the week, So, but sometimes, it don't do anything for me anymore as far as energy. I don't know if it ever did, but it's all in the head,
Well, sometimes I drink the fizzy waters too. I just put them in a koozie so you can't tell. The bubblies or LaCroix.
Well, see, we drank dome water here at the house. When me and Spencer was fishing the other day, I bought me one of those smart waters, man. And I didn't think I was going to make it home. I mean, I felt so intelligent, after driving an hour and a half back, drinking that whole liter of smart water.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife didn't even know who I was when I walked in the house. I just had all these.
Got home, wrote a book.
Yeah, sophisticated questions. So that stuff that's really the deal, man. The smart water.
Jimmy says try the C4. If I think you might explode, Brad.
Yeah, that'd be my luck.
You drink the C4 and you would catch a 180-pound blue catfish and ski him to the boat.
Yeah. Hey, I'd drink one to catch a fish that big for sure.
Hell yes. Whatever happens.
What would you do if you caught the world record blue cat, Brad? Would you kill him? Because you don't have a live well.
No, I wouldn't kill him, man. I would just soon have a picture of him if I could. That would suit me just fine. But now we got phones, great video, get it on video or something and get it back as soon as possible. But as far as the benefits of catching a fish that big and what it would do for you as far as personally in your career, I would let all that go versus killing the fish for sure. Oh,
yeah, I don't need my name on a list anywhere.
No, I mean
that doesn't.
I mean, I would know it, and pretty much that's all.
Everybody know it.
Yeah, everybody would know it.
Let everybody know.
You know, far as the you know, because like Spencer said, I don't have a live well. But you know, I can. You know, of course, you can keep one in the water. You can tie it up if you want to, if you want to wait. But the way it is, most of the time when you catch that record, man, it may be a day or two before you can get somebody out to certify it. And you know, for me, it wouldn't be worth it. Now, I would try, you know, in every aspect to get it certified. But if it's going to be a risk of losing a fish, then I wouldn't, man. It's not worth it to me.
But it's an old fish, Brad. It might die tomorrow anyway.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. We had a hell of the night before, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's true. He could die tomorrow, but you know, it wouldn't be on because of me. You know, trying there because you know, if I caught it and turned it back loose, and I done everything I could do to keep it alive.
Here's a funner question. At least I think it's funner. More fun. I don't know. Anyway, what would be a world record fish that you would catch and you would kill?
You talking about what species?
Yeah.
A bass in a heartbeat.
I'd kill a bass even if he wasn't a world record.
Yeah. And I used to be a tournament bass fisherman, but that's just but no, you know, or crappie, you know, something like that. I mean, I don't know, man. A catfish to me is kind of like they're just kind of, it's more personal, man. More like a whale type personal. You know what I'm saying? Like they got.
So you wouldn't go whale hunting?
No. I don't know. It's just a different level of a fish. You know, you've looked into big blue cat eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's not like looking in an old bass eye. You know, it's not the same thing.
See, I look in a blue cat's eyes, and I don't feel like there's a lot going on. But I look into a flathead's eyes, and I feel like it's got some personality.
Yeah.
And maybe that might be some of the difference between why I like one more than the other, too.
Yeah. That's the intelligence factor.
In those eyes.
Tell you what, I caught an alligator snapping turtle, or I didn't catch it. A client reeled it in 2 or 3 years ago. And that the thing that caught me off guard was the emotion in that thing's eyes.
He flipped me off.
he just looked completely caught off guard. Like his life got turned upside down. He just looked at me with complete shock. Like what just happened? I was 25 feet underwater eating shad, and then now I'm floating around on top with this line coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, no, I try to, you know, I've always tried my best to be, even for shad, you know, something as plentiful and as nasty as a shad. I do my best to catch my share of them and get the rest of them back, you know, without harming them if I can. But, you know, if I step on a few in a boat or a couple, you know, if a whole net full don't make it, I mean, I'm not going to cry about it, but you know what I'm saying? I try to give everything a chance that I possibly can. But
there's no point in wasting stuff.
No.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you. Like, I hate wasting things.
Yeah.
I hate going to a good shad spot where other people know about, and they're just dead shad all over the rocks.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yes.
Because there's days when I would love to have them shad, and I can't find them, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, when it comes to, like, a trophy aspect, it's just another level. You know, not saying that a 1 pound fish is as important as a state record or world record. You know, it's just kind of like their lifespan, man. The older they get, the more respect they need for being that old. But like you said, they could die tomorrow, you know, without even being caught. They could be floating up somewhere dead. But I think we owe it to them, you know, because trophy fish are Spencer's age, at least. You know, most of the time, you know, and
they're the reason we go out, truthfully. You know, a lot of people go out to catch fish, but I go out for big ones.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, there's enough big ones being killed without us doing our part of being negligent.
Yeah.
I don't know. At the end of the day, I mean, even if somebody catches a big fish and kills it, I ain't gonna knock them as long as they don't waste it. Like,
Oh yeah,
is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. If somebody wants to catch a 70-pounder that I release, all the time, and take it home and feed their family, I'm perfectly okay with that. I have nothing against someone feeding their family.
Yeah, but one meal, that's maybe 5 pounds.
Yeah.
You still got 60 pounds of fish left.
Yeah, exactly.
At least. Ryan says I'd kill the state record blue and release the flathead. I wouldn't kill a state record blue either. Back to the waste thing, because I'm not eating that fish.
No.
I've tried to cook big fish. I've caught 30-pounders before. Because it seemed like my luck sometimes back then, if I went out trying to catch eater fish, I could only catch a 30-pounder. So I take it home, and which we had, me and my wife and 5 girls, we could eat a 30-pounder pretty quick. And but just to make that 30-pounder, now Spencer probably can, because he cooks a lot of fish, out there where you ain't got a bunch of sauces and ingredients. But like for me, I couldn't make a big fish taste good. Even cutting out the red meat stuff. But I do know for a 5 pound and under, that fish is going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
Even 10 pound and under, but as far as eating a 50, 60, 70 pound fish, I can't do it. Cause I'm a trophy fisherman. I just can't kill one for that. Now, don't get me wrong. If I needed some food, my family needed some food, then yeah, I would take one out.
Different. Absolutely.
Yeah, different ballgame,
Yeah, I'd shoot neighbor's dog if I was starving.
Another thing too, you can go catch 10 5-pounders and go home and clean those and get them in the freezer a whole lot faster than you can get that big fish home and clean and get him in the freezer. Because you ever try to skin one that big?
I haven't. No.
I mean, it's just
I've cleaned a 25 and it did not take me very long.
Really, they're they're difficult, man, if you don't know what you're doing. And like I said, for me, I've got a pond full of, 10, 15 pound, I guess they're hybrids. But even the big ones, the 10 pounders, man, they're hard to clean. I guess it's a lot easier if they're dead. But
I could clean a 10 pounder in like real time, 40 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, maybe 50.
That's smoking, man. That is rolling.
I don't smoke. I just clean.
I haven't cleaned. Now, like filleting crappie and stuff like that, I can do that really fast because that's all I ever eat is crappie or panfish, bluegill, shellcracker, and stuff like that. But now I will keep me a flathead or two every year.
They're delicious.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, there's nothing about a flathead to me that's not just the best fish in the fresh water. I mean, I'd rather have a flathead over a crappie, and that's my opinion. I know some people like Spencer said, walleye was better than crappie.
Oh yeah.
But I've never had walleye, so I really don't know. And it's all opinionated too. Some people just have a taste for different fish. But to me, a flathead, man, is just awesome.
I think the difficulty of catching the fish adds something to that, because like I did the old Pepsi Challenge fried catfish deal, and the overwhelming majority picked channel cat as their favorite.
Yeah, I was part of at least one of those.
Yeah,
they were all delicious, but yeah.
I think channel cat was unanimous number one because I did channel, blue, and flathead, and channel cat was unanimous number one. And I was just laughing the whole time because I knew what was what, but nobody else did.
Yeah.
And that does have to do fish by fish basis. Each fish kind of has its own taste. Like, sometimes you eat channel cat and it's good. And some, if you get some warm water channel cat I've had, and I'm like, yeah, I can't even eat this.
Right. I've never met a channel cat that I couldn't eat.
I did at Lake Panorama last year. I caught one in the summer, and we're cleaning crappie. So I cleaned the channel cat, and it was horrible. I don't know what he was living on. I mean, garbage maybe, but it tasted disgusting.
Right. No, the one that surprised me was when I did, what was it, crappie, walleye, and channel cat. And I think 2 out of the 4 picked walleye, and the other 2 picked channel cat, and crappie was dead last for everybody.
Yeah.
That was the one that surprised me.
And it depends on the time of the year too. To me, in the wintertime, all fish taste better. You know, crappies even, you know, they're kind of mushy in the summertime. That's one reason I don't even try to. I usually, what fish I eat throughout the year, which I've done caught my crappie for this year, but in the spring, the first full moon when the water temperature gets right, I'll go get on the shell cracker, and I'll spend about 2 weeks, you know, getting me a few messes of them, because the water's still kind of cool. And then after that, I don't eat any more fish. I mean, if I want one, I can, but like I said, I've got them in my pond, and I need to get them. I need to catch them out, man. If y'all ever down my way and want to come by and catch you a cooler full,
I do.
come by here. Yeah, seriously.
I do.
He's like, I'll be over in the morning.
I'll see you next week, bud.
Yeah, I want to turn it into a bait pond. You know, I hardly ever fish the pond. And it's very small. It's not even I'm gonna say it's probably a half acre to 3/4 acre pond. But it's loaded with catfish, goldfish, and I want to get the catfish out and just turn it into a straight up bait pond.
Well, I know a guy who's
that would make your life a lot easier.
It would, yeah.
Bait pond in the backyard.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the flathead candy as far as the goldfish, and I was telling Spencer there's some 10 and 12-inch goldfish in there. You know, some big ones, and I actually got a picture I'm gonna send to you in a little bit I took today. But I like to have it full of bluegill, goldfish, even bullheads. You know, just get them, stock it up. You know, I don't know how that'll work out because bullhead will probably eat everything in it. But
no, they'll keep it clean. They'll keep the pond a lot cleaner.
You know, I caught 2 bullhead last spring. Now, they was big ones. They was 12 inches. Or I say that's big for here. And I put them in a bucket with about 6 or 7 bluegill. And they just, they put a whooping. Hey, when I got to the river, I only had bullhead.
Yeah.
That's different, though, when you got them in a bucket.
Yeah. That's more the fins.
That's kind of like, that's probably cruel, ain't it? I probably shouldn't have said that. It's like throwing a rabbit in a tiger pen.
I've done it.
Yeah, I literally have 2 bait tanks at my house. I keep green sunfish and bullhead in one, and then everything else in the other.
Yep, that's a good policy right there.
Hey, bullhead are mean, man. You know they'll bite you when you reach down and get them. Yeah. You know, I've stuck my hand down in the bucket to grab one, and just so happened my pinky go in his mouth or get close to his mouth. Man, they'll drill you. You know, and they've got a crazy bite force to be such a small fish.
Yeah, they're more of a blue cat bite than a flathead bite.
If a blue cat bit that hard, man, they would bite your fingers off, man. You know.
Yeah.
That's what those Wells catfish are like.
Really?
If a bullhead got 150 pounds, that's a Wells catfish.
Oh yeah, you would lose an arm over that,
dude. Well, the thing that weirded me out. So, whenever you let a catfish go, it just swims away, right? No big deal. But you let a Wells catfish go, you have to watch your hands. Like they will turn around and try to bite you.
Really?
Yeah, they're
that aggressive.
They're just diabolical, man. Like they're like a shark.
Big old tadpole.
Yeah,
I mean, they look like a big old huge tadpole, man. Are they in the family of the flathead and the bullhead?
They're catfish.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like they be in that kind of crazy environment, you know, like especially a flathead. You know, from what I've seen, I've never fished for them and not really done a lot of research on them, but I know they catch them in a lot of smaller places, you know, smaller rivers and stuff.
I'm trying to think from a classification standpoint. I'm trying to remember which family they're in. Like, because they're a different species than the other ones. I think they're a different genus than the other ones, but I don't know what family they go in. I can't remember the classification order. All I know is if you let one go, just watch your fingers because they'll turn around and try to nab them.
Yeah.
No,
so they freshwater? Like,
yeah, they're freshwater.
There's no. I wonder why. I wonder if any of them could live here in our water.
Oh yeah, they would have no problem.
Yeah. They're really in pretty dirty water where they're living at, ain't it? I mean,
yeah, they would do fine in North America. We don't want them. We want them, but we don't want them.
Yeah.
If
they're aggressive, they'll probably kill out everything else.
They would change it. I don't know how they would change it, but they would change it. They wouldn't be like the Asian carp, like
just overpopulate. But
yeah, they would definitely impact different species.
So
they would definitely impact native catfish species just because there would be like they would change the forage base.
So it'd be kind of like here in my area with the blues versus channel. It would be kind of one of those deals where they would probably outfeed the blues, and we would never have big blues, that many big blues, like, you know, kind of like we are with channels now.
They would impact it for sure, and I don't know if they would affect the blues or the flatheads or the channels more, or
they're
other
more
fish.
grazers, aren't they? They don't eat live bait, do they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they do. I didn't know that.
There's,
Because you fished with them with dough balls, didn't you?
They're super optimistic or opportunistic, but and they might be optimistic too. I didn't ask them, but they're opportunistic. Yeah. But they'll eat but they're omnivorous, so they'll eat grass and then they'll eat a 10-pound carp. You know, they don't care.
Or stink bait.
Or stink, yeah, they'll eat dough balls. They'll eat dough balls and then they'll eat a 10-pound carp.
I didn't know they had 10-pound carp there. Every one I saw you catch was just ginormous.
That's why the only ones you catch are ginormous, because if they're under 40 pounds, they get eaten by whales.
I didn't know that. I thought they were all herbivores.
So what is the world record whales?
Shoot, I think it's over 300 pounds.
I think so.
Man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, we got a couple that were pushing 150. Then you're like, that's half the world record.
Yeah.
I mean, that 150-pound whale's half the world record. It'd be like catching a 75-pound blue cat.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna bitch about that.
No. It's a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trophy all day long.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have it. Joel was asking if I had any more exotic fishing trips in the works. I don't. Well, I kind of do, but they're all domestic. Like, I'm going to start spending more time, like, getting back in the middle of nowhere. That's why that's why there's a wood plank background and not my normal background. Like, I'm checking out a bunch of little creeks and ditches and stuff like that to, I don't know, try to find those little hidden pockets of awesomeness. The downfall of that is are days like today where you're trying to figure it out and you don't catch shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you know till you know?
You don't. So you get out and explore and try to figure it out. And that's what I'm doing, which I enjoy that. It makes YouTube videos tough, but the process.
Spencer is one of those guys that everything could be going perfect, and he just gets bored of it. Oh, another day we got 2 over 60. Another day we got an 80. Yeah, let's go try something else, guys.
I'm addicted to learning, man. Like, so you learn the way. Like,
I mean, it's better than crack.
Yeah, right. But like, for real though, you catch them one way and you feel good about it. But so we caught them this way, but what if we could catch them this way? Most of the time you can't, but at least you know.
Yeah, it's hard to go out and do like I thought about doing a show on and doing everything I do. Well, now I bump, so I got to include that. I'm a 2-day bump now, so I'm loving this. But like go out and catch a trophy fish anchored up, and I'm talking 30-pounder bigger, and then in the same trip go out and catch a 30-pounder bigger suspending. And in the same trip, go out and catch a 30-pounder bigger dragon. Which the dragon, the dragon would be pretty easy certain times of the year for sure. But that's kind of like a trifecta deal, man. It's like
that would be tougher than you think, because like when it's easy to get one dragon, it's tough to get one anchored.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's kind of crazy because a lot of that changes throughout the day. Because the fish can be. First thing in the morning, a suspending bite can be on fire. But
that's what you want. You want it to be different throughout the day so you can do it all. But
but see, and then there's days when that suspending bite won't happen.
Right?
And so if you don't get it that morning, you're like, what the crap am I going to do now? Because you have to wait till that evening. Well, from what I've seen, it's first light and last light. So if you can't catch them that morning, then you got to fish all day. Just to get to that evening bite and hope it happens in that last hour. Where the dragon, that works all day long most of the time. Right. And anchored up, you can find one, set up somewhere, to catch one anchored if you can get him to bite. But like I said, I think that would be a cool trip, just to try to do it all at one time, just to prove to yourself that you could, because that's not easy.
You should do it. You should do it, and then like even if it doesn't work, that's just part of the journey. So you should make every video with the intention of making that happen. I think that would be really fun.
Because 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to happen. But that time it does, that's going to be freaking sweet.
Yeah, that's true, man. It is, and it's not no matter what time of the year it is to do that using, and that's my 3 methods. Of catching them is suspended, anchored, and dragging. And like I said, you can include bumping, but bumping, it's not I guess you could do all 4 of them.
I mean, that's kind of a completely different part of the river versus some of those others.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because what I would do the other 3 is nowhere near below a dam. It's so yeah, it would probably be a different aspect of trying to make it work out. But those other 3, I think it would be fun. But and like you was talking about earlier, trying new things, man. No matter where you go, it's the first thing is eliminating dead water. That's always been mine. Yeah. It's a lot more dead water than good water, and especially like places you fish. And those little rivers as good as anybody can possibly figure them out. But
not true.
Even though. Me and Spencer fished in my boat, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, and I sucked. We skunked, man. And I was like, how is this possible? With what Spencer knows, what I know, and what his buddy knows, we never put a fish in a boat. And
hey, don't put that on me. I would have never went there.
Yeah. What had happened, the river was rough, man, and we was like, okay, well, me and Spencer have been trying to fish together.
I shouldn't say I would have never went there. I would have went there. I don't know.
I don't think anybody would have stayed in there all day like we did, just trying, because we was in there all day, and it was a perfect scenario. I mean, it's deep water, a bunch of standing timber, shallow flats. I mean, it was just perfect place for big catfish. And I'm sure there is some back there they just don't eat. But we went back there and basically to get out of the wind in a place we kind of wanted to experiment a little bit. And I thought I had it figured out because I'd done caught 2 fish back there. So I was like, well, there's 2 back there. I know there's more. No, it's not.
The rest of them are solar power. They don't eat.
Hey, when we come out, I told Spencer, I was going to email TVA and tell them they need to fill that place in with dirt and just take it off the Tennessee River because it sucked, man. I mean, it's like, and it's kind of crazy because it's, Spencer's seen it. He's fished back there and caught a couple. It sets up good for big catfish.
I've never skunked back there in my boat, Brad.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, and we tried everything, and it's one of those deals where there was nothing, no matter what I tried, nothing worked. We only got 2 bites the whole day, and it was a channel cat, and we was like so excited.
Oh, Charlie.
We was ready to get them, man.
Ready to jump out of my chair. Yeah. I was ready.
Yeah, we didn't even catch them. And but what really sucks about the deal was only a half a mile from there was some of the best big catfish water around, and we could have went there if the river wasn't rough. But it's like you back here fishing this dead gar hole. Now it was full of gar. We seen that. We really didn't skunk. You did get those 6 gar in the boat.
Yeah, in the
but they was in the net. They was in the net. But we were
fast forward fishing. They call it.
Yeah. But we were so close to good water to catch big fish, or at least catch some fish, but we couldn't fish it. So we went back there and tried to fish an area we never fished before. Man, it was terrible, and I hadn't caught a fish in my boat since. Spencer, I don't know what his buddy said it was his beard. His beard was bad luck.
You just need to buy my boat, and then you can catch fish.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right. Well, that's the first time I've ever caught fish out of yours. Last time you put it on me. You put me on the fish. That
I felt bad for you.
Couldn't catch him. Yeah.
I mean, he's a hell of a guide.
He is. I thought, he knowed I was sick. I was only like 40%. And I was like, well, he feels sorry for me. He's going to put me. Well, then we started bumping. And I was, getting these bites every, pretty quick. And then he's going to
even touch the freaking bottom.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was catching bumping fish suspended. Like these dudes are in 20 foot of water, and they're up at 15 foot, just killing it,
just ready.
But it was great, man. Like I said, but that water back there we fished in my boat, that's dead water. I mean, to me, I will check it again. I was told Spencer,
I'm sure there's a scenario where they funnel up in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it during the spring. Not far from now when I get ready to spawn, and just see if there's any big fish in that 30 foot of water that actually moves up on those flats. And if it's not, then I'm just gonna write it off as never go back there again.
Just a drive through.
I got some spots like that. Gary asked a question: best advice for finding flatheads in a limited population, small river. My advice: find a different river.
Yeah.
Like if there's not very many of them,
take your ball and go home.
Yeah, like they're hard fish to catch in places where there's a bunch of them. Like to fish a place where there's not very many of them, go somewhere else.
But let's say you don't know, there's a small number. Let's say you're going to a new water and you're flathead fishing. You're going to find the deep timber or log jams, and you're going to set up above them where they're coming out to feed, and that's probably where you're going to give your first shot.
Yeah, I mean, fish the conditions. So general rule of thumb is the higher the water is, the shallower they go. The lower the water is, the deeper they go on small rivers. Timber's always good. Look for current that's like 1 mile an hour current. Like that's the Goldilocks zone. It doesn't matter if it's flood conditions. It doesn't matter if it's drought conditions. Like that, the half a mile an hour to 1 mile an hour current is where you want to be. So you don't want to be in the dead water. You don't want to be in the fast water. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for timber in that slower water. Hot tip: if you got an outside bend with 2 brush piles, the first brush pile's catching the blunt of the current, but it slows down the water, so the brush pile behind it is going to be in that Goldilocks zone, that half a mile an hour to 1 mile an hour. That's usually where your big fish is at. I don't know. There's
and the front one may contain fish, or they'll usually be smaller fish that got pushed out of the second one.
Yes, channel cat country, small flathead country. You can catch fish in that front brush pile. You're absolutely right. Just seems like your big dog is hanging on the backside,
and there's usually not many with him.
No, and so
he takes a wide berth.
He's going to bite or he ain't. So like you fish it, give them 10, 15 minutes. And if you don't go, then you move on to the next one and wash, rinse, repeat. But that's a little snapshot of the things to try. But if you want to beat your head against the wall and fish in that river that doesn't have very many, the upside of that is when you do catch one, it'll be super rewarding.
It means something.
Yeah, like a 40 pounder to me in Iowa means 10 times more than a 40 pounder in Alabama. And not that a 40 pounder is tough, like not that a 40 pounder is easy to catch in Alabama, because that's a special fish anywhere, but it just means so much more in Iowa because in the South you feel like you're fishing for flatheads. In the North you feel like you're hunting for flatheads. Like I'm not targeting a type of fish up there. I'm looking for that one, and it's different. Like, and you don't understand unless you've done both. You really don't, because like I would venture to say most people from the South would go up north and just say our waters suck and then leave and then go back where they came from. Like, and I wouldn't blame them, you know.
No.
If that's what you know, and then you go back or you go up and see that, you're like, wow, this is terrible.
Why do people live here? And it gets negative 30.
Everyone's so nice though. Except for me. I'm kind of an asshole.
Well, there's always an outlier.
Right. But yeah, like if you want the challenge, there ain't nothing wrong with the challenge. So yeah, keep giving it a rip where you're at. But if it was me, I would say go find a different body of water. If there's just not very many of them. If that's what you want to catch and there's not very many of them, then go where there's some more of them. Yeah.
Or throw out one flathead rod and a couple channel cat rods.
That's one fish. Well, that's one thing too, is like every body of water is good for something. It might not be good for what you want to catch, but it's good for something. Like
might be bait.
Or smallmouth, like good smallmouth water has some flatheads lots of times, but it's not good for flatheads, but it could be good for smallmouth or good for walleyes, or maybe one river has a bunch of white bass or stripers or whatever, you know, like every body of water has some quality fishing certain times a year. So just lean on that. That's another thing. And then maybe you make your flathead trip a few times a year. So something about last cast, boys. I'm tired. I got to be up in like 4 hours or some shit like that.
Well, if you want to come catch some flathead, give me a call. We will take you out this summer. And,
are you talking to me?
No, I know you don't know how to catch flathead. Talking to Gary. Gary wants to come to Iowa and catch some flathead. Get a hold of me at tasserryan@hotmail.com, and we'll hook it up.
Ryan's caught a flathead and helped people catch flatheads. I've seen it. Occur. Brad, what's your last cast, bud?
Man, I'm just trying to get over this flu. I'll tell you what, I've had it's one of the worst ordeals I've ever had with the flu. It actually made my lungs bleed, dude. And that's kind of that's scary when you're coughing and your lungs are bleeding. That's bad. But I'm on the upside of it. But I'm getting better. But I hadn't been able to fish. I was just blessed to be able to go out with Spencer yesterday, and because I hadn't been able to go in like 7-8 days, and being sick, then having withdrawals. That's that's not good. You know, I've had fishing withdrawals, and
did not affect your bumping ability.
It did, man. I was shocked.
He saved it up.
Yeah, it did, and but I was thankful to be able to go, man. But that's what I'm working on right now. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get out tomorrow and give me some bait caught up, and hopefully here in a day or two or after these storms roll in, the tornadoes and everything over the weekend next week, I'll be able to get out there and hopefully get on me a big flathead or maybe even a nice blue. You know, it's time for both of them here. They're moving around.
I've seen online. I've seen a lot of big flatheads down.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, I seen a lot last week, and then Spencer caught that that beast he caught, you know, it's a good time to get one. You know, they're getting very active. You know, unless something comes through and shuts it down again. You know, because we hadn't had a winter. You know, we had a winter early, and now here it is March. You know, we're almost through winter, but there's still a possibility we could get some crazy cold before the 1st of April, and you know that could come through and mess it up. But right now, if it stays like it is, even with all the rain, it's going to really make things good across the board here. So I'm excited about it.
I'm done chasing blue cats, at least for a good long while. Like I'm just going to focus on them green fish, man. So I'm excited. Well, I'll end saying thank you for everyone who took time to listen. Thank you, gentlemen, for hopping on, and it was a good time like always. And
Oh yeah.
I'd say same time next week, but it'll probably be a different time. I need to hammer out something because daylight savings time, days are getting longer. I don't know.
Yeah, in the summer, 6:30 on a Wednesday may not cut it.
Yeah. So moral of the story is it'll probably fluctuate a little bit, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Stay tuned.
Do like a breakfast podcast, like do it in the morning.
It might happen.
Yeah.
Catfish and eggs.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I'll still be calling bullhead. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, everybody, and see you next Wednesday.
See you guys. Thanks.
That'll be great. Hey, good to see y'all, bud.
Yep. See you.